Funky Sly Guitar Music. It comes in every Monday through Friday, live 5 on the FMHP Network, Rumble X, YouTube. Check us out, subscribe, type in iNewsWire on Rumble, Roy Bleckert. However, you'll find us. Lots of stuff going on. Trump had his monthly cabinet meeting with all the cabinet meetings. I don't think we've ever had a president that's done that. We're going to go potpourri is some of the subjects. We'll get to some of the clips on that. But I want to roll with the intro and with Elon Musk said some things about Doge and what it's doing, even though a lot has not been on the air per se. We look at a lot of stuff, but this whole tolerance, and you can't say nothing or that will offend anybody. And these are some, at first people may say, oh, he's mean, you got to be tolerant. But if tolerance means the end of Western civilization, then we cannot be tolerant, Elon Musk. And there's a lot of truth to what the Musketeer is saying. And there are no hard and fast rules, per se. Just, you can never say, or maybe that you can, you have to tolerate everything. Well, that means you're going to have to tolerate somebody pointing a 357 and blowing your brains out, or almost. One lady, the National Guardsman, did. The one man is, the other guardsman is still alive by some sort of miracle. But Trump brought it out, and he's starting to get back a little bit to being Donald J. No, you don't have to be tolerant. If tolerance is going to ruin the greater good, the life most people have come to know to live, and people are destroying that, you don't be tolerant of it. You don't be tolerant of people, Joe Biden letting 10, 20, 30 million people into the country illegally. And especially if it's to end the United States of America as we've known it for 250 years, the bastion of freedom and liberty. The bastion of you get to keep the fruits of your labor. Somewhat, and we've gotten away from this, but not our government telling us lies every 2 seconds. And that's what Musk is saying. If tolerance means this, if tolerance means instead of demanding that you know fractions in the 3rd grade before you go to the 4th, if tolerance means, oh, well, we can teach you in the 9th or 10th or 11th or 12th or maybe never grade. If you don't get it, oh, well, at least you tried. No, we're not tolerating that. You have to meet a certain standard to progress to the next level. So while it may seem mean, or a lot of people may characterize it as that, it's really the only way you're going to thrive instead of just surviving. So the great Elon and their great words of wisdom, even though some don't want to hear it or will try to twist it or try to make hay of what he said, he's 111% right. You got to look at things in a reality-based world. Not the world you wish. Not the world in a make-believe 3x5 screen. Not this expansive world that, oh, you can just look at this and be in Australia. No, you're still in Moreno Valley, California, or wherever. You're just looking at a picture of Australia or Japan or whatever. You should not hide behind these things. And it's affected our society in a lot of ways. Men can become women, women become men. You can be non-binary. You can think you're Foghorn Leghorn one day or Bugs Bunny the next. And it's tolerated. Well, no, we're not tolerating stupid. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. That's why these words of wisdom may seem harsh, but if they are harsh, it's the harsh reality. Had to hit the cough button. And that harsh reality is what a lot of people are going to need to have them thumped upside the head and be productive human beings and be able to make the choices, to have the tools to make the choices that they can ultimately be successful at life. And hopefully we're going to get to a point, and I think Trump needs to get back to this. The Hodgkins wrote it. The people that stole the elections haven't been arrested. The people that pushed the clot shot haven't been arrested. The people that made up the fake Russia hoax and committed treason haven't been arrested. And you expect us to be cool with that. Criminals are still at large. Well, hopefully there's a turnaround and we got some, let's say, better information at the joint cabinet meeting, I think number 10, 9 or 10, that Trump has had. He's had one a month. And they've been absolutely fabulous. But maybe And we'll see how it goes in the courts. But if Trump has gotten rid of the pardons of Milley, Fauci, and whatever by President Otto Penn, then they can be back on trial. And they can be held accountable. That's what I believe the Hodge twins are talking about. And those under 45, mainly, that switched from voting for Joe Biden to Donald Trump. They wanted action. They wanted to see that they're not going to bust their ass and then somebody's going to pull the rug out from under them. They've been through financial crises, housing this, education screwed up. Oh, get a college degree. Oh, we'll give you a $100,000 loan. We'll put you in servitude. And we'll give you a degree that means nothing, that you can't earn a living with, that you can't be successful. And I don't blame them. They thought they were doing the right thing. They were convinced. And this goes to teachers. This started with the professors in the California UC system. Professors jumped on this and said, hey, we don't just expand it, give out degrees and grades, no grades, just pass people on, collect the money, get the stupid taxpayer to pay for it, or loan them the money and then forgive the debt. We make tens of millions of dollars, and then they pass it down to the K through 12 teachers who fouled up the rest of the education system, started in California and then spread like a cancer across the other 49 states. But I hope that Trump's recent shift and I really think he needs to, in my view, I'll take 3 of the 4. Get rid of Bondi at DOJ, move Harmeet Dillon up. Out with Cash Patel, put Andrew Bailey in charge of that. General Mike Flynn at CIA and Stephen Miller as Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles out. And I don't want to be greedy and saying all 4. I say 3 of the 4. Get 3 of the 4 going in. He's got a chance to capture that lightning in a bottle that he did in 2024. And what those, like I said, especially the under 45 crowd, Hispanics, blacks, who shifted in this direction a lot. And as the Hodge twins pointed out, are back on pissed off mode because they don't see what they voted for. They're seeing the immigration part. I hit the cough button again. They're seeing the immigration part. But like they said, they're not seeing the crooks and criminals put into jail. And they deserve that kind of America, of Western civilization. the Western civilization, the America I saw and grew up with, and my parents and grandparents grew up with. And future generations are saying, hey, wait a minute, we're getting sold a bill of goods all across the board. And that definitely, without a doubt, needs to stop. Turn around. We'll get to some of the clips from Trump. Here, as we join the mighty, we met KMET here in a few minutes or a few seconds. We should. And maybe we'll get this ship turned around.
Got 30 seconds, Roy.
You got it. As Sean said, we'll be joining the mighty Met KMET here in a few seconds. We'll pick up on some of the cool statements I believe Donald J. made at the joint cabinet meeting, the 9th, I believe.
Here we go, 10 seconds.
Rumble and roll with the best hillbilly hoedown around.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
That funky side guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday live at 5:30 on the Mighty Red 1490 AM, broadcasting all over the Inland Empire in the aforementioned AM band. Join your vast video at Ensign, the Evil Hippie Network, Rumble, X, YouTube. Check us out, subscribe, type in Newswire, Roy Bleckert. You'll get us either way, or you should. They ain't shadow banning us all over the place like they usually do on that. Trump had his joint cabinet meeting, I think the 9th. He's had one every month since he's came or was re-inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States of America. We've had Elon Musk. And again, it may sound harsh, but it's not. It's the reality of the situation. And we need to really start working back to that. If tolerance means the end of Western civilization, then we cannot be tolerant. In other words, we're not tolerating stupid. We're not tolerating that men can be women and women can be men. And you can rack up $100,000 college debt in Mongolian basket weaving. And you're going to get a job and you're going to earn $10 million. That ain't it. You can't let 30 million illegals into the country and just dump them in here carte blanche and then start taking money from the citizens and giving it to them. $4,000 a month, SNAP benefits, Medicare, Medicaid. Unemployment fraud. Under the guys like Tampon Timmy Walls. Sitting there using kids as props. Oh, we're going to feed the children. Well, all that money's going to support terrorists and cartels overseas. If that was what's meant by being tolerant, then we're not going to be tolerant. We should not be tolerant. In fact, it's your duty not to be tolerant. This whole thing about, you obey illegal orders in the military, then, well, yeah, we know. Yeah. Anybody that's signed in has been well aware of that. But we're not going to be tolerant of stupid. And we're not going to flush our way of life down the toilet if this is what you have in mind. Ain't going to happen. No how, no way. Trump getting back to being Trump. It's about time. Here we go.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars. Billions. Every year. Billions of dollars. And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. Somalians.
That's what Musk is talking about. If that's what tolerant means, we should not be tolerant. We have a process for immigration. We let 1 million people in per year under some standards. You don't become a burden to this country while you're seeking citizenship status. You learn English. You adapt to our culture. And it usually takes about 5 years. If you pass the test, there you go. American citizen, welcome aboard, onward and upward. We're not taking drug dealers. We're not going to allow children to be sold into sex and labor trafficking, or adults, or let them be the 21st century slaves and be treated like second-class citizens. Because that's exactly what's been happening. And this is more to the point with what's been uncovered in Tampon Timmy the Retard Walls, Minnesota. Billions of dollars that are funding terrorists, drug and gang cartels overseas, the Chinese government, ultimately. This Secretary Kristi Noem didn't hit the sneeze button fast enough. Of Homeland Security, here we go.
You know, you told me to look into Minnesota and their fraud on visas and their programs. 50% of them are fraudulent, which means that wacko Governor Walz either is an idiot or he did it on purpose. And I think he's both, sir. He brought people in there illegally that never should have been in this country, said they were somebody that they're not. They said they were married to somebody who was their brother or somebody else. Fraudulent visa applications, signed up for government programs, took hundreds of billions of dollars from the taxpayers, and we're going to remove them and we're going to get our money back. And we're going to, this next year, make sure that we only put people in leadership positions in this country that love this country and have its back. So thank you for letting us get up every day and have a purpose. We appreciate you.
So there you go. tampon Timmy. Let's say Christy Gnome's exaggerating the 50% of fraud and all that. Let's say it's only 25%. Of $1 billion, that's 250 million. That went to some of the worst human beings on the planet Earth. For one thing, just to take kids and use them for, we're going to feed 18,000 kids a day and you didn't feed one. You bought expensive homes and cars and living the life of luxury, yachts, then sent the money over to Somalia and then some of that over to China. They got a cut because they're running the show. And it's like, do we ever figure this stuff out? Or as we say, get our S together. Sometimes it's amazing the amount of stupidity that we will tolerate. The one thing, and this is where Trump needs, and he's starting to hopefully get back to being Trump. We're not the policeman or the dumping ground of the world.
And they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks. And we don't want them in our country. I can say that about other countries too. We don't want them the hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other. And we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Thank you very much, everybody.
You're even getting, it appears like you're even getting the reporters to clap on that. That's what Musk is talking about. If tolerance means the end of Western civilization, then we cannot be tolerant. If they're being used as slaves to press the price of labor,
I can't hear you, Roy. You muted?
that's not being tolerant.
I'm not hearing you now.
On your fellow human being. And that stuff really, really, really.
What did you do, Roy? Because I'm not hearing your audio now.
Stop as in yesterday.
I'm not hearing you. Something's wrong there, Roy, because I'm not hearing you. Are you hearing me, Roy?
Today is Giving Tuesday. I don't know if anybody's heard that one before, but it is indeed Giving Tuesday, one of the biggest days of the year for philanthropy and charitable giving. And this afternoon, Michael and Susan Dell are committing to one of the largest private donations in American history, which will directly benefit the next generation of American children through the new Trump Accounts program that we created in our One Big Beautiful Bill. And Michael and Susan came to see me along with Brad, and they said, this is an idea. And I said, I think, it sounded just so good and so unique. But that's why he's been so successful, and they've been so successful in life and in business because they're unique. Trump Accounts will be the first, I guess you could say, real trust funds for every American child, allowing family members, employers, corporations, generous donors to contribute money that will be invested and grow over the course of a child's life to be used for their benefit after they turn 18. So in other words, these are children that are going to, an investment's going to be made. That investment's going to continue to grow, we hope, right? We hope. And, but it will. And they'll feel like Michael Dell someday. But at 18, they'll have a lot of money, a lot more money than they would have had, and potentially a lot of money. But these accounts will track the overall stock market and will be 100% private property controlled by the child's guardians. In honor of America's 250th anniversary, the Dells are announcing today that they are giving 25 million American children $250 each to save and to invest in their personal Trump account. Now that's the equivalent of $6.25 billion. In other words, to put it succinctly, Michael and Susan are giving $6.25 billion in total, and as a total contribution. That's big stuff. I don't care who you are. That's big. Come here, give me a hand. Let me have a little of that luck rub off. That's fantastic, Susan. These gifts will be available to the first 25 million children aged 10 and under the zip codes where their median.
So this is America first and taking care. This is how you take care of children.
I'm not hearing you, Roy. Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Roy, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
Put something away so you have something in the future. So you're not looking at it. From the prism of gloom, despair, and agony.
Roy, can you hear me? Roy, can you hear me?
I got the tools behind me to do it.
I can't hear you, Roy.
It's going to be one extremely interesting ride coming up here. And we better, at least in my opinion, grab the bull by the horn.
Roy, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
And if we don't, none of us are going to have a future. And if we get to that point, at this latest move by Trump, taking Otto Penn's pardons, saying, hey, they're void. And we start getting rid, and we show that there's a punishment for doing the wrong thing. Yes. Oh. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. There we go. Now we're back on fun equipment. There was going that. Here we go. No, back to we're not tolerating this stuff. And more and more each day. We need to get to that point where people see a future. That's why they want to see these guys put in jail. The Faucis, the Millies, or whomever, all across the board, Otto Penn, Hunter Biden, the Biden crime family. Go to Nancy Pelosi, pencil neck shift. Trump put out a post on that of Anna Paulina Luna putting all that on. Well, if the pencil neck shift deal goes, we'll be fine. If those pardons are revoked under Trump, then there's no excuse of going after him. And that's what people expected from the Trump administration. They wanted to see action. People are tired. I think people are just weary of the excuses and the promises and the false hope. They want to see something that's going to make their lives better. And hopefully, with all this stuff, we'll clean out the corruption in the China and all this stuff. It's like that buffoon, Mark Kelly. Former astronaut Mark Kelly started a spy balloon company funded by China, reported on Fox News. Yeah, and he's leading the charge of, Trump, illegal orders and all that. That's just trying to sow the seeds of dissension. Because if Trump was giving out an illegal order, then post it. And if it's true, it'll either get corrected, or people who are doing that will be punished or be held accountable. But just throw these allegations up in the air, and then you are in business with the Chinese Communist Party, who wants to destroy the United States of America. It couldn't be worse. It can always be worse, but it can also be better. That's the antidote. And we hope that in the future, going forward into 26, because this is good. Trump was right. We're in a pivotal time. We're fork in the road. We can go this way or that way. we can either become greater in the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, or we can lose it like that, like Reagan said. You're only one generation away from flushing all this down the toilet. So it's going to be one heck of a ride, I believe. 26 is really going to be pivotal. And based on what's happening now, if it goes in the trajectory, Trump better get what he wants accomplished this year, because if the House and especially if the Senate go Democrat in 26, at best we can hope for that we just send sideways, because they'll at a minimum put the brakes on the Trump administration, and they'll be trying to turn over everything from they'll be opening up the floodgates. I mean, if Congress passes, hey, the borders are completely wide open, no nothing coming in. And if the Democrats are in control of the House and the Senate, that could very well happen. They could make Joe Biden's policy seem like tiddlywinks. And at that point, if Congress passes it, there's not a lot for Trump to do, because Congress has authority to set the rules. The executive, the president, carries it out. So we got a lot of stuff at stake coming up in 26. I hope people are grasping the gravity of the situation and are ready to act, even though, we got Christmas coming up and New Year's. But the majority of us better be on board, or the wheels can come off the wagon, as they say, really, really, really fast. The wheels come off a lot easier than it took to put them on there. So like you say, it's a long climb uphill. That ride down is very fast. Heading to the city zoo for the council meeting. That'll do it for today. As we usually say at this time, it's mandatory you're back here in 23 hours wide. You're the best darn show in the whole wide world. Until then, see ya.
The proceeding was a paid.
All right, are you hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
Yes,
What?
my equipment starts shutting itself off again without any warning.
Oh, man. Yeah, I was like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, sometimes the master switch just goes and switches itself off. I have no idea. It's like the video switcher. Sometimes it just switches itself for no frickin' reason.
All right.
Electronics.
Yeah.
I could say.
All right, well, I will talk to you Friday, hopefully.
Got it.
Bye now.